Welcome, my name is Madan. This video is continuation of our last video on performing database CRUD operations from ASP.NET Core. So here we are in our MVC demo project that we created earlier in our video sessions, and I am in the pet repository class. In last video we provide implementations to the methods in our pet repository class. So in this video we are going to create a pet controller to interact with our pet model and pet repository. So let's go to the controller folder and create a file called pet controller.cs. I'm going to copy this name so that I can use it later. So this is in the namespace of mbcdemo.controllers. Let's create a class, public class pet controller, and this inherit from controller base class controller. So let's bring the namespace which is in microsoft.aspnetcore.mbc, and let's create a constructor. CTOR is a shortcut for creating constructor, and pet controller class. Let's define several methods here. Public action result index, and these methods will interact with the view and with the pet model or the pet repository class. And let's return a view. Let's create another method, public action result details, and let's pass the ID of the pet, since we are going to get the pet using this ID and pass the details of that pet to the view. So let's return view for now. And let's create another method, public action result new, and return view. And let's make this method as HTTP GET method, and let's create another method, HTTP POST, and public action result new, and let's pass pet here as a parameter, pet. Let's return view for now. And what this declaration, the attribute, does is this method will only respond to the HTTP GET request, and this method will only respond to HTTP POST request. Let's bring in the namespace for the pet. And let's implement another method for removing the pet's action result delete, and we are going to pass the ID of the pet that we want to delete from our view. Return view. Alright, we have completed the basic structure of our controller, and we're going to work with the pet repository class from our controller to pass the data from view to the repository and from repository to the view. In order to use the pet repository class, we need to define the pet repository here. So let's define pet repository private pet view as a repository, pet repository. Let's bring in the namespace, and also we need the application DB context, and we can pass application DB context from here in the constructor of the controller, same like this. Let's copy this and pass it here. and let's bring in the namespace for application db context, and let's store this application db context in a private field so that we can use this in our entire class. And let's initialize our pet repository class in the constructor. Pet repository equal to new pet repository, and this pet repository expect us to pass the application db context which is available in our private variable context. Let's do context. So with this, when we run the controller, the runtime will inject the application db context into our controller, and this is defined in the startup class. So when we tell services that add db context application db context, then the ASP.NET Core will automatically inject the instances of the classes or the application db context to the controller we want to use. This is made possible by dependency injection technique. So with this, we can interact with pet repository class from our actions. So in index action, we are going to display all the pets from pet database table. So first, let's get the pets variable pets equal to score pet repository dot get all pets, and let's pass this collection of pets to our view. And in the detail methods, we are going to get a single pet whose id is equal to this id. So let's do variable pet equal to underscore pet repository dot get single pet, and let's pass it the id of the pet, and let's return this pet to our view. So what this does is it go to the repository and use the get single pet method, and the get single pet method goes to the database and get the pet with whose id is equal to the passed id, and it returns the pet, and finally we pass this pet to our view. And this new method which responds to only http get request is responsible for showing the new view to the user. So in the new view, we are just going to pass the empty pet object. So variable pet equal to new pet, and let's pass this empty pet to our view. And this new method which responds to the http post will get the pet when the user submit the pet form, and it will pass this pet to the repository, and the repository finally save that pet to the database. So what we can do is pet repository dot create, and this create method expect the pet, and this pet is coming as an argument to this method from the view. So with this, it will create the pet which is passed by the user, which is submitted by the user from the view to the database. So finally we can remove pet from here. So the user pass the id of the pet that he or she wants to delete, and first of all we're gonna need to fetch the pet whose id is equal to this id. So let's get the pet underscore pet repository dot get single pet, and let's pass the id that is passed by the user from the view. And after that we can do pet repository dot delete, and this method expect us to pass the pet. So what this does is it goes to the database table, finds the pet with the id equal to this id, and finally removes that pet from the database table. Alright, that's it for now. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.